Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 167 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. We're doing one thing every day this year to be a better version of ourselves. This month we're focusing on contribution, and today's topic is, and I'm going to share a 7-step process, how to investigate organizations in order to support, in order to decide where to support, who to support, what to support. We've talked about several different processes this month, and we'll talk about a couple more. They're very similar if you break them all down. You have to decide what's important to you. You have to choose what aligns with that. Then you have to investigate and look into and do a little research. Do your homework. I always say and said to the kids, do your homework, right? What you put into things is what you get out of things. So if you want to have the biggest impact, you want to make sure you align yourself or choose organizations to support that are worthy of your support. And I'll share the process for doing that, and then I'll share some red flags to look for as you're doing your investigation. Now, back in my day, today things have changed so much with technology, you can just hop on the internet and do some research. You can pick up the phone. We used to have to pick up the phone and do some research because there was no internet. I know, I'm that old. So, what is this 7-step process to determine and identify the right organizations to support for you? What's right for you? Number one, of course, we define and we start with our core values and our priorities and our passions. What are we passionate about? Ask yourself some questions. We've done this before, but I like to come up with slightly different questions because some things resonate with us and some things don't. So what causes are closest to your heart? What really taps into you emotionally and makes you feel either strongly positive or strongly negative? I'm going to say pursue the things that make you feel good and make you feel strongly positive by impacting them, not the things that make you feel bad. Why? Because you're more likely to stick to it if it's something that recharges your batteries and energizes you. That is a combination of the word battery and energize all together. So, do you want to support local, national, or global initiatives? You get to choose. And maybe you start out locally, but then you decide to expand globally with your efforts. Do you prefer organizations that are focused on education, environment, health, social justice, entrepreneurship, or another sector? Obviously, I favor entrepreneurship and helping people to create a bigger impact in the world by creating a business that makes the world a better place. So make a list of 2 or 3 priorities and prioritize your values or issues that you can investigate further. Go on to step 2. Determine the type of contribution that you can offer. Is it going to be money? Is it going to be volunteering your time or skills? Is it going to be donating goods or services or resources? Is it going to be offering your platform or your network to an organization or to nonprofits? Maybe you are a tech genius and you've created a customer getting, but it could be also used for donor getting process or platform that you could offer to nonprofits that match your desired impact on the world for a reduced price or for free, right? So match your contributions and your contribution with the organization's needs to increase the value and efficiency and effectiveness of your support, right? It's always nice to exponentially have an impact than to just do one thing. That's why I like to donate my skills and abilities and teach people how to do things that can improve their lives, and they can share that with other people so they can improve their lives, and you get that whole ripple effect going. Step 3 is to search for organizations using reliable databases. Now, I'm going to look with my magnifying glass because I was going to look at these yesterday, but it was a busy day with granddaughters, so I did not. But there's online databases and sources you can go to investigate nonprofits. One is Charity Navigator. Another is GuideStar by Candid. Not familiar with any of these. And then there's BBB, which I think is a Better Business Bureau, Wise Giving Alliance. I will not share my opinion about the Better Business Bureau. Filter organizations by cause, rating, location, and impact. Check out the reports. See what's out there. Step 4. Evaluate the mission, alignment, and transparency of the organization that you're investigating. Visit the organization's websites. If they don't have a website, that might be an indicator that they're a little shady or maybe not above board. Might just be getting started, but they still ought to have some kind of a social media web presence. Look for a clear mission statement. Do they have a clear mission statement? What do they stand for? What's their purpose for existing? Look at their detailed annual reports and impact statements. Do they have them? If they don't have them, another red flag. Try and look for transparent financial disclosures. If they're not saying exactly how much money they're spending on administration versus actually serving the cause that they're supposedly serving, that is another red flag. Look for testimonials and real stories of impact from the organization. Organizations that clearly communicate what they're doing and how they do it are more likely to use your contribution effectively and have a bigger impact on the world, a bigger positive impact on the world. All of our donations and support should go for positive things, making the world a better place. I really feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but I think I do nowadays. Step 5, review the ratings and external reviews for your particular organization you're investigating. Cross-check ratings on platforms like Charity Navigator. Pay attention to accountability and financial metrics, sustainability and leadership structure, and community engagement. Also look for reviews on Google, Yelp, and Facebook and other social media platforms. See what volunteers, beneficiaries, and donors are saying about the organization. That's a clear indicator of whether it's above board or not. Number 6, reach out directly. A quick email or phone call can reveal many things about the organization. For example, whether they're currently accepting volunteers or donations. I don't know a single nonprofit that decides to not accept donations at any given time, unless it is like a Goodwill or a products and services place that doesn't have capacity to take donations. Usually that happens more on a local level than on a national level. How do they track and share their impact? How do they measure impact? If they're not measuring impact, what the heck are they doing? And it's not hard to measure. If you're serving meals to the underprivileged, you count the number of meals that you've served. That is a clear indicator of impact. And then finally, their openness to questions. Transparency is key. If a nonprofit is not being transparent, guess what? They are not being ethical, moral, above ground, or actually doing the right thing for the people that they're saying that they're serving. Just look at this NSAID, or no, not NS, USAID with the NGOs debacle here in the USA. If that doesn't give pause to really digging deep and investigating into things, what the heck are you thinking, right? We're not making the world a better place if we're funding the rest of the world in terrorist groups. That was my political announcement for the day. Number 7, test the waters. Start out small. Once you've picked an organization you want to work with, maybe you make a short-term volunteering commitment, or you start with a small donation, and you test out and you observe the organization's communication, thanks, use, and follow-up. And if they don't do any of those things, again, just like a business, you want to do business with a business that isn't really customer-oriented or customer service focused? No is the answer. And do you want to do, and you're really doing business when you're donating your time, your money, your efforts, etc. Do you want to be involved with an organization that isn't above board? I'm going to share one person's story, and then I'm going to share some red flags, things to look for, and then how do you make this a part of your life? Number 1, let's share, whose story do I want to share? I'm going to share Emma's story. Emma's a retired teacher, and she wanted to support literacy, so she's supporting literacy. She's from Oregon, and so she wanted to continue the lifelong commitment to education after she retired. So she started to identify her top values, which were child literacy, under-resourced schools, and rural education. She used GuideStar, which is to search for nonprofits working in the literacy across the Pacific Northwest, because she lives in the Pacific Northwest. So she wanted to go a little regional, not just local, but regional. And after comparing 3 highly rated nonprofits, she chose Reading is Fundamental, RIF, because it had a strong track record of book distribution. The financials showed 87% of the funds went directly to programs, and the site shared impact data and student success stories. Emma now donates monthly and has also volunteered to conduct virtual storytelling sessions for young readers. She regularly receives updates about the children she supports and says the connection gives her a second career worth of fulfillment. All right, so that's a story. Now, let's think about and look for red flags. What are some red flags when we're investigating anything? When we're investigating a group we're going to join, especially when we're investigating where we're going to donate our money, right? Because money is the easiest thing to not use wisely. I think we all know that from our personal experience. So not every organization is what it seems to be, just like everything else, and more so now with technology and the internet and AI and all this stuff. So you want to look for some red flags. Red flags would be lack of financial transparency. If they're not being transparent with how they're spending the money that they're raising, huge red flag. 2, no clear leadership structure or accountability. If there's no accountability, no leadership structure, and you don't know where the money's going, second big red flag. 3rd, if they have overly emotional appeals without data or impact stories, 3rd red flag, right? If it's just an emotional appeal for money or for resources, etc., big red flag. And finally, organizations with poor reviews or unresolved complaints are a 4th red flag. If you have any of these red flags, I would say look somewhere else or dig much deeper before you make a commitment to these organizations. Because we have to keep in mind, those organizations that we support, if they are unethical, immoral, or doing illegal things, that reflects badly on us because we chose them. And even if we chose them out of ignorance, it still reflects badly on us. Use tools like ScamWatch or the FTC's charity fraud reporting site to, if something feels off, check those sites out and see if there's something more going on. So how do you maximize your contribution with a giving plan? What the heck's a giving plan? Once you identify a trusted organization, an organization you want to be a part of and you want to support, create a giving calendar. Schedule monthly or quarterly donations or volunteering time or support. Set volunteering goals, track your hours and your impact, share your journey. Encourage others to make the world a better place too by sharing your story, posting your experiences, posting your success stories, etc. Align your giving. You can align it. A quick and easy way to do this is to align it with milestones such as birthdays, anniversaries, business revenue goals, etc. So, doing your homework before contributing ensures that the efforts that you are putting forth drive real world results and impact the world and make the world a better place. There's a lot of organizations, and I'm going to share a personal story, which I probably shouldn't, but my mom is an older woman, and she literally gets boxes and piles of mail every single day from different charities that are trying to get her to donate. And part of why she's on everyone's mailing list is because she donates to a lot of them. And she's inundated with requests. And the sad thing is, some of those are probably good charities, and I know that they are, but she has not investigated them. And others are outright scams. And it breaks our heart to see that. And so we're trying to educate her in investigating those organizations. And everybody should. But be forewarned that these organizations, especially the unethical ones, target the elderly. And I think that is kind of criminal. And it is. It's definitely unethical, and it's definitely a red flag. If they're only targeting the elderly, I got a huge problem with that, personally. And so, all right. Any questions about this? Hit me up. What are we doing today? We are going to find one organization that we want to support by going through this 7-step process. We are going to, and we've probably already done step 1, define our core values and priorities. We've talked about it at least a handful of times this month. We're going to determine the type of contribution that we can offer. And guess what? We can all offer so many things and so much. We just don't realize it, because even if we just help one person, it makes the world a better place. 3, search the organizations on a reliable database. I don't know anything about these databases I shared. You'll have to check them out and see if you deem them reliable. Evaluate their mission alignment and transparency. Review their ratings and external reviews. Reach out directly to them. Like I said, we used to only be able to do this, reach out directly to determine if we were going to be involved with an organization or not. And then be vigilant and always be paying attention, because you might find that your research and your homework look good. But when you get deeply involved with the organization, you find out it isn't what it pretends to be. Then you just say bye-bye and go somewhere else. But reach out directly, because talking to someone, if there's nobody to talk to, red flag. If anything like that, if any of the red flags show up, I say next. You can waste your time digging deeper, but you pretty much know that if it's shady from the front, you don't want to get involved in it. And then test the waters, start small, build onto that. So what are you going to do? Go through the 7 steps and decide and pick one organization that you would like to support. Doesn't mean you're going to, but that you've researched and feel confident that if you do, you would feel good about doing that because it's a match. All right. Have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.